Eddie Hearn has confirmed that he has made initial contact with Golovkin's promoter, trying to make Triple G versus CALLUM Smith. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, shout out to Sky Sports, link in the description box. They have an article, interview, and there's been some talk about Gennady Golovkin moving up to 168, possibly to fight champion CALLUM Smith, who was just in the World Boxing Super Series, emerged, knocked out George Groves. He looked good in that fight, and the sky's the limit. And real quick, this is what was said. Quote, Gennady Golovkin is another one, Badu Jack and Adonis Stevenson. Smith's promoter Eddie Hearn has confirmed that initial contact has been made with Gennady Golovkin, whose lengthy middleweight title reign was recently ended in a rematch against Canelo. And in the article and interview, basically CALLUM Smith is saying that he would love, his dream fight would be Andre Ward, and he would be open to fight Gennady Golovkin. There's also videos where you'll see him at a press conference in the UK. It's fight week for Bellew versus Usyk Bellew, and he says he would love to, he would jump at an opportunity to face Gennady Golovkin at super middleweight. Listen, I'm going to give my thoughts. Boxing is getting kind of screwy. CALLUM Smith is a good fighter. George Groves, that's a good win for him in his career, probably the best win of his career. He also knocked out Canelo's upcoming opponent, right? Rocky Fielding. He did it in one round. So I like CALLUM Smith. He's part of the Smith family. You will know that his brother Paul Smith lost to Andre Ward, so maybe that's why he wants the rematch. I was at that fight. I interviewed Eddie Hearn that night, and that was way back in like 2015. So that's probably why he wants the Andre Ward fight. Makes sense. Right now, Ward's hosting The Contender, doing his ESPN gig, and he's entertained retirement, but he said the feeling goes away. So I don't know. He's not an active fighter. As far as Gennady Golovkin versus CALLUM Smith is not a bad fight. However, I do not want to see it in May. I don't want to see it next. Here's why. Gennady Golovkin, career-wise, has always, him and his team have always like gallivanted around the division saying they're avoided, right? We'll fight anyone from 154 to 168, 175. We know that's not true because they had opportunities to fight other guys outside of Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao at 54, like Canelo at 155, which is basically the same thing. And they said, no, he needs to come to the full 160, which he later would do. They had opportunities for Golovkin to fight Andre Ward, and they wanted no parts of that. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez and Bob Arum have called out Triple G. He has not responded, with any level of interest as far as make the fight. Yet he wanted to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and he wanted to fight Carl Froch at a point in time, a guy who lost to Andre Ward, but not Andre Ward, right? So they couldn't get fights with Cotto, Sergio Martinez. During those times, I did videos, and there was pressure on Cotto. I put pressure on Cotto, Sergio Martinez, like, hey, give the man a shot. He's your mandatory, boom, boom, boom. And now the tables are turned. The hunter has become the hunted, and Triple G is in a division where it's just finally at a point where you could start considering, like when they were comparing him to B-Hop, I thought it was pretty laughable if you consider who B-Hop fought career-wise, right? When they were saying the title defense run and stuff, because they were counting like a regular WBA title as title, just whatever. But the middleweight division was not stacked. There was only a handful of people he could have fought, and then for whatever reason, Martinez ended up fighting Cotto. Canelo didn't want to fight in 2016. Maybe a few guys didn't want to fight him or whatever, and we addressed those issues when it came. Now the stigma is different. people aren't avoiding Golovkin. Derevyanchenko, who just gave Jacobs a tough fight, was willing to fight him on late notice when Canelo failed a drug test. So was Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who's now a champion. Billy Joe Saunders has since called him out. Canelo says he's open to a trilogy, and he already fought him 2 times. Jermall Charlo is basically his mandatory with the WBC, and he's the highest ranking for Canelo's belt. And the WBC said, hey, you want a Canelo trilogy? Beat this guy, right? Now all of a sudden to see Golovkin leave the division. So you had no problem making 160 for your whole career. And then now when Charlo's your mandatory, Andrade's up there, and Daniel Jacobs already gave you a tough fight. He's a champion now. So that now when the tables are reversed, you want to move up and fight another fighter. I'm not really, you had opportunities to fight Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez years ago, but you didn't do it. You had opportunities to fight Andre Ward. So to me, I don't really like the move. I told you this was Black Murderers Row. You look at the top black fighters in the middleweight, people are saying Charlo should fight Jacobs. Good fight. However, how come Jacobs can't get a rematch with Triple G? He already gave him a tough fight. Plus, he's a champion now. Why does he have to go through Charlo when Charlo got ordered to fight Triple G? And I don't care if the winner of that fight fights Jacob. I think that's fine, But why step out of line? If Jacobs fought 4 undefeated fighters in a row to become a champion, and he finally got there. He lost the belt with Triple G. I thought he beat him, but judges didn't agree. So he lost his belt. Then he fought undefeated fighter 1, Luis Cuba Arias, in a return fight. Fought Mad Selesky, undefeated fighter who knocked out Hugo Centeno Jr., who fought Jermall Charlo in his last fight, right? Then he comes back and fights Derevyanchenko, a guy that Triple G did not want to face and opted to fight. Vanes Martirosyan, coming off a 2-year layoff and a loss from the 154-pound division instead when Canelo failed his drug test. So Jacobs has earned it. He's a champion now. Charlo, to my knowledge, is in his mandatory. And, I think Triple G and Charlo should fight, right? Or they fight and then the winner fight Canelo, or the winner fight Daniel Jacobs, one of the champions. It shouldn't just be the Black Murderers where we're like, friends. Danny Jacobs and Boo Boo Andrade have to fight to satisfy your curiosity, yet Canelo or Triple G don't have to fight, none of them. Canelo's the A side, so we know everyone's chasing an opportunity with him because it means so much. Plus, it'll probably be a career high payday. But Triple G, he's not even a champion anymore, so he should have to earn his keep like anybody else. Canelo at least has the A side stuff going for himself, and he has belts. So, he can and he's the money man. He just made all this money with his own. So he can, to fight him is more of the privilege, so to speak, that people are seeking. But fighting Triple G, you're in for a tough fight, and he doesn't have belts anymore. So, I think all the guys like that should have to scrap and then see who's ready for the title shot again. It's no different at heavyweight. Dillian White, he had an opportunity against Joshua before he was champion. Then he lost. So he's worked his way back up, and now he might get a fight, even though there's another fight at heavyweight that should happen, which is Wilder AJ. But at least he climbed his way back up the ladder, just to, instead of just immediately getting an AJ fight. Same thing with Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz should fight Dillian White. That's how boxing should be. Luis Ortiz tried at a title with Wilder, came up short. Fight a couple guys, earn your spot again, and then you're right back in the mix. So Caleb Smith, I think he could be a difficult fight for Golovkin, but Golovkin was the middleweight man, so let's see him stay there. I don't want to see him all of a sudden rush. It looks like you're just trying to pick around and choose who you think is the biggest event, and that's not how it works. I think the Charlo could be a big fight, but they're gonna act like it's not, but suggest Ryota Murata just because of his alleged fan base. So, it's just getting ridiculous. But I told you guys for a while, the walls are closing in on Triple G. I can't wait to see what he decides. Again, Caleb Smith, it's not a bad fight, but there's too much work and too much action in the division that Triple G has been at. So why leave now? To me, that's not going to be a good look if you decide to leave when the action just starts. That's like a movie, you know, is slow at first for the first 35-40 minutes, and then the story starts to develop, you know, the characters, and then the action sequences, and then that's when you decide to leave the movie. Like, I could understand if you were so bored in the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, right, where you're just like, man, this shit sucks. I mean, I don't really leave movies, but, you know, I would understand that more if the first 15-20 minutes you didn't let the story develop and it was slow and you're like, well, this is not my cup of tea, and then you left. But if you already endured that, why leave when it's getting good? When there's action fights for you and meaningful fights, why leave then? Why leave the movie, you know, when the action picked up and the story, and you start finding this character double crossed this character, and there's some plot twists and, you know, some suspenseful, you know, scenes and stuff. Why would you leave at that point? So I have no interest in seeing Golovkin leave out of the division. I don't even really want to see the Canelo trilogy fight immediately. They could fight at some point, but I think Triple G should fight one of the top fighters, you know, and a lot of them in the middleweight division are black. So I think personally those are some good fights, and then you could, you know, you earn your stripes, get a Canelo fight or whatever. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.